Hello everybody, Glitch Reaper here. I'm here for another vlog. This one's a bit quick because it was a bit fast for me to find out about too. The thing is, I might be having a bit more employment headed my way. Namely, I might be getting a new job right now. I'm going to be having, I guess you could call it a job tryout. It's kind of one of these things that's not exactly a common thing to be able to do, but if you get an opportunity, then it might work out for you. You never know. But I'm just going to be trying out something and seeing if it works out for me or not, so we'll see. I don't know if this is going to, well, I know it's probably going to affect things, but I just don't know if it's going to work out in the first place, so I'm not sure if that's going to be concerned this way or not. And even if it does, I will still be doing things, it just will slow down. Kind of like how I used to do things whenever I had less ability to do them in the first place, that things were just running a bit slow. Well, I mean, I could restructure for a few things, because there's still a few things coming up I'd kind of like to do. Uh, and I might just do it kind of like whenever I was doing solitary craft for a while. Whenever I was just like super focusing on that as a big primary thing to do, I might wind up doing that again, where I do like a lot of one thing, at least when it comes down to like whenever I have time available. It's something I've done before, and I've kind of thought that if things kind of wound up that way, that I might do them again that way. I'm not saying it'll be specifically solitary craft, because it'll probably wind up being crazy Minecraft, because that mod pack looks super cool. I think my computer can handle it, because it's going to be a beefy mod pack, and in 1.7.10, which means it's going to be in one of the more RAM-heavy versions in general, but I think I can vector enough RAM to do that, so we'll see. I mean, Lycanite mobs and Mo creatures and like in several other like major mobs mods at the same time, and like a whole bunch of like tech stuff, dinosaurs going into space. It's gonna be hefty. But the thing is, I think they're having more issues testing it out than I would have, because they're testing it out multiplayer, and I'd probably be soloing it unless I specifically get invited onto a server that way. Specifically, probably one of theirs. Like if they invite me in or something like that, which they might, because they sort of know me in a way. Uh, the Realms of Atlantis, I should be saying. It started by the Atlantic Craft and kind of continuing outward. But anyhow, if they invite me on, then it'll probably be multiplayer, and I'll probably see if I can get a few friends in, like Enderman of Doom and Lycanite, because it'd be interesting if they showed up and then they're like, wait, you know the guy who does this actual mod and the guy who made the mod with the even more enormous creatures? Ooh. I mean, that would be funny to just freak them out with. And of course, the same would go for if like Shino went in, but I don't think they have Abyssal Craft or anything that he actually did, so and he's kind of left 1.7.10 and moved on to bigger and better versions. But there are some people that at least remember the old times 1.7.10 and might want to reminisce a bit, and B still have some active mods they're doing in it, like Titans is still being actively developed in 1.7.10. It's just that Enderman of Doom has gotten a bit busy recently, so it's not as likely that you'll be seeing as much of the versions until he actually has like a lot of content ready at once. So that's kind of how that's been going. I do know a few features and advances he's working on, and one of them is just hilariously cool. Me and him kind of collaborated on coming up with the idea, because I thought it would actually help to reduce lag and be a cool idea at the same time, and he took that idea and like turned it up to 11. So it's like, yeah, I didn't see it going that way, but it's even cooler than I expected. So I definitely want to show that off at some point, preferably with him whenever I have time. But you never know, I might just show it off straight up, because it's one of those things that's kind of a quick feature, and I can just go over why we wanted that so much, because it's kind of a thing where you're going, okay, that makes a lot more sense when you think about it, especially involving Titans. So yeah. So that's definitely something I want to show off at some point, and him being somebody who's very familiar with 1.7.10 code, if we do get invited to the server and I have another star stuck to my, I knew this would happen at some point. I knew that I'd have to toss it back overboard to get the dolphin going. Okay, you still down there, dolphin? There you go. I knew that would happen eventually. Oh, dramatic interruption. But yeah, as I was saying, if I'm invited on, I might also see if I can get a few of my friends on board, because I'm pretty sure they'd want to be seeing them, because as both modders and players that are pretty serious about it, they'd probably really appreciate it. And you never know. I mean, they might want a little additional inspiration for their mods, and that's one thing that some modders don't play as much as they mod, and some do. The ones that do manage to actually play the game more, or for that matter, just playing games in general, tend to have more inspiration for their mods. So if you're a modder that's listening to this, please don't deprive yourself too terribly much when it comes to playing as well, because playing means inspiration. In fact, I think they've scientifically proven that being playful and actually like playing various games really helps with your inspiration level, and for that matter, your general intelligence. So it's actually just really good advice in general, is make sure you have some time for enjoyment and stuff. And that's one thing I'm thinking of, like, if I do get this job on a more permanent basis, that I would definitely be still doing videos of gaming, because I will definitely be needing some wind down time after I've had the wind down time. So it's one of those things where when you need a vacation from your vacation, what do you do? Well, in this case, whenever I need wind down time for my wind down time, I will definitely be gaming and being back on. So that's just one of those things for me, kind of inevitable. But that's kind of my perspective on that. Meanwhile, we've got some predictions saying that the update Aquatic will be finishing this week, but I'm saying there's a good chance, but I wouldn't exactly guarantee it, because already it's been showing that because of the sheer technical aspect of it, they've been having a bit of a brutal time getting this to be fully prepped for Java. And because the different programming languages, like the Bedrock Edition, has gotten it a bit more reliably, although it has been in like several major pieces. So it's kind of a bit different that way. They've gotten it divided up into 3 major pieces, but they don't have as much technical difficulty with that because it's in like different language code that's usually a bit smoother. In Java Edition, they're prepping to release, but they've been having a lot of pre-releases. Right now, I think we're already right here on pre-release 7. I try to remember if this was the moment that they were saying we tied for the most. And I wouldn't doubt it, because I remember when 1.8 development cycle hit and 1.8.2 just went ridiculous on pre-releases. So yeah, I mean, we eventually finished in 1.8.9 for that development cycle, but let's face it, just remembering 1.8 and how rough it was is one of those things. And yeah, we're equaling that now. I mean, it does have a lot of cool stuff. I mean, there's reasons why I used this seed specifically for my seed showcase that I did recently, because it's just awesome. But at the same time, that may also up the probability of bugs, so that also does tend to happen. Now, this also brings me to one last point before I go, out of just general stuff. Kind of a special reminder, Mojang has been hiring a lot more people, so if you're a programmer that would actually want in, try to keep your eye on their Twitter, because they tend to announce it more that way. And the thing is, that means they've got a bigger crew. If they've got a bigger crew, they can do bigger releases at the same speed that they used to be able to do smaller ones. Like, the Update Aquatic has already added about as much content, mainly for the oceans, as 1.7.10 added for the whole world. So that's kind of a special statement, because if you really think about it, we haven't really had an update this enormous for quite some time. So to say that the Update Aquatic is as big as, if not bigger than, the update that changed the world, I mean, seriously, that's what they call 1.7 update, and they meant it because it really changed the landscape. Well, that's a pretty big comparison. And to say that they did it in about the same amount of time, if not a bit shorter, is also, well, I'll have to see about the exact amount of time they were done, so I'll have to look that up. But anyhow, just saying that the time is comparable is kind of amazing. I mean, they've kind of stepped up their development speed and what they've been able to do. And so that's gotten pretty darn cool. So yeah, so just think bigger and better. Well, the best thing I can say about the Microsoft takeover of Mojang has been that it's kind of like the Disney takeover of Marvel. Basically, they said, do what you do, but then we'll give you a bigger budget. It's like they literally just threw money at them going, okay, you just develop this stuff for us, and we'll just happen to also share in the profits. So, yeah, just do what you do, don't ruin it, and let us just stay out of your way of doing great things, and let's just throw money at you to make your development studio bigger. That's basically what happened. So, we're definitely getting the benefits of that. So, yeah. Anyhow, I think that's probably enough for me on that. And yep, everything's hopping here. So I can get on with my usual exit because the parrots don't seem to be in the mood to off-source their dancing to anybody recently. They seem to be pretty good with wanting to get back in the party mood, and I like that. They're getting back gung-ho with the party. So let's go for this. And so, remember, this is Glitch Reaper. I'll be logging off. Hope to hear from you all soon. And remember, join the parrot party, because now we can be even more pirate. Arrgh. Yes, we love it.